All right, here we are. It's an episode of
In the Buff.
In the Buff.
That
Here
podcast we do.
Yeah.
In the Buff.
Shut the fuck up. It's Scott's Corner.
We got Scott. John.
I don't give a shit who else is here. It's Scott's Corner.
Cody.
Coming in hot, I guess.
Just because you motherfuckers didn't abuse this...
He's
Hey!
really aggressive about the corners.
Just because you motherfuckers didn't abuse this whole circumstance doesn't mean I can't.
You're circumcised?
You're stuck in here with me today.
Half circumstanced.
What are the comments like?
Oh.
Right over my head, Cody.
What kind of comments do we have? I should have been more prepared. I should have had them up already.
You should have had them up. Let's cut this part out.
Nah.
All right.
Just vamp while I'm getting it ready.
This is me vamping.
So, guys,
You're vaping?
I think it's
No
time.
vamping.
I think it's
Like
time
a
to come
vampire.
clean. We never wear clothes, so can you count that as being nude?
My
Yeah.
nipples are so goddamn erect right now.
Yeah, it's definitely... We're definitely breaking our rule of not wearing clothes this time, because it is freezing.
My left foot is so fucking cold.
My left foot.
Cody looks like the Hallmark guy that just came back into town that's about to, like, get laid with the popular hot chick.
Right.
Yeah, but she does have 2 kids from her first marriage.
She
so
does
it's like,
have 2 kids, but you guys are about to go to the bar
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
the owner's there, and they're going to help you guys get together.
And the bar owner is going to be Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, could he be?
Yeah.
Oh, dude! I want to meet Kelsey Grammer.
You were telling me
Yes.
that you were watching a Hallmark movie yesterday, and Kelsey Grammer just showed up.
Yep.
Dear Kelsey
He
Grammer.
got fired from Beast, and now he's there.
If you want to replace my friend Scott at any time.
Wow.
He's had a tragically sad life.
Yeah.
I love you, Kelsey Grammer. I named my D&D character in Chris's game after Frasier.
Oh. No, he's not thinking that.
scrambled eggs.
That was perfect vamping,
Yeah.
and now I'm ready to read the comments.
Oh, nice!
We've got a couple of comments on our last episode. Our friend Andy comments, wow, leave it to my friends to talk about Thor and Odin trash talking, then make a hard left into crying with Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, last episode got emotional.
He was also really horny.
Like that.
Very quickly. Whoa.
Monty, role-playing a little conversation between Odin and Thor here.
Yeah.
John, would you like to read? Who would you like to read?
I'll
Odin
be
or
Thor.
Okay, I'll be Odin. What's your name?
What?
What's your name?
Oh, my line's different. I am Thor, god of thunder, son of Odin.
Fuck you, Thor.
Fuck me. It doesn't go any further.
You're trying to improv there. Chris, commenting, Lonely Boy by the Black Keys should have played when we saw all single Pringles. When we say all single Pringles. When we say we all single Pringles. Good God, could you have constructed that sentence any more poorly?
I don't even know what he's talking about.
I assume Lonely Boy is a song.
Yeah,
The Black Keys are an artist.
Mm-hmm.
a band.
And you're referring to something in the podcast.
Yes. We mentioned that
Fantastic.
Kyle has...
Kyle commented, just simply missed you guys. And he is publicly subscribed to our channel for 9 years.
Oh, wow.
Here's the Hallmark comment from Final Fantasy X Waka Celestial Weapon Guide World Champion Guide video. Matt H. I don't understand the struggle on Blitzball. I lost the first game against the Lucre Goers, then I have never lost after that. I'm not sure what I'm doing different, but I think it helps. I have probably one of the best teams you can get. Also, Jackshot is absolutely necessary, IMO, and make sure to use it as much as possible, and I usually win at least 3-0 every game, I believe, to get to the team. If I remember right, because it was a long time ago, I think I ran around Luca where the docks are and looked through all the teams trying to sign anyone, and now I have 29 wins without losing since the first match. Hope this helps someone at some point.
Thumbs up emoji.
Wonderful.
What a stream of consciousness.
How can you do that
Dude.
and then mess up on my thing?
No, here's the thing, alright?
He's read that one 6 times.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's on a video that he created.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's vaguely complimentary.
He
of
watches
the
his
video.
videos every day. Every single one.
I do. I actually have a laptop setup that just has them all on repeat.
That's what you've
That's
said.
Instead of
That's how
mining
Albed did
crypto,
it.
it
Instead-
just says,
That's how Albed did it.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of mining crypto, John, I mine views for our YouTube channel.
Oh, you should mine crypto instead.
You could probably make more money.
Yeah. Well,
Then you could buy ads for the YouTube channel.
thank you for all the
Or I
comments.
just have the money.
That's wonderful. I have a little notebook here.
Oh.
Huh?
And if you'd like to be featured in the next episode of the podcast, leave a comment.
Absolutely.
And we'll read it.
That's
Cody
great.
will read it.
And comment and subscribe.
Maybe,
and like.
Maybe one of us other ones will.
Nope.
So, it's my corner.
It is.
Scott's Corner.
What's your corner
I'm
about?
going on public. I fucking hate Christmas. I despise it.
Well, by the time this episode goes up, we
Thank God
should
it's
be
over. Thank God. And then it's
How do you
just
feel about New Year's
another brutal year ahead of me.
with your friends?
So,
We make it better.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
your guys' corners are just weak.
Okay. that's fine.
I'm going to talk about music. Thor Odin, you calling him slurs about gay people.
didn't have to. spell
Chris,
it out
you're the
quite so
winner.
much.
Chris won. He was the most fun to do and listen to afterward.
That Monster
His
Quest corner was pretty compelling.
It was a great episode. And I'm going to give the credit to me mostly, but to you because it was your corner. That's all changing here.
Okay,
I get the fucking corner now. It's mine.
he's coming in real hot, despite the ambient temperature.
And we're going to take...
Look at his hair. It's so nice.
Thank you.
It's starting to spike up like he's about to go Super Saiyan.
There's
Oh
a
my
one
goodness.
piece of glitter on his cheek, and it's pissing me the fuck
There's
off.
one piece of glitter on your tipple. Got it.
Hey, Chris, what do you spend the $750 on?
There's one piece of glitter on your hat.
Hookers
It's
and blow.
Did you make him cry
No, I cried.
Yeah,
Afterward.
from the poetry?
and during.
And before.
Well, we're taking a little bit of a dive today
Oh.
into an increasingly uncomfortable scenario of making people either scared or upset.
Okay.
I'm not sure where this is going.
I'm a little nervous.
None of us know
We're
what's going
talking
on.
about-
My
some-
left nipple is no longer erect.
We're talking about some unsolved mysteries.
Oh,
Woo!
okay.
But we're starting off pretty fucking light. Glitter! In December of 2018, an article was written by Katie Weaver of the New York Times.
Okay.
Do we need to take notes?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
She was curious about glitter. So she went to Glitter X, which is the largest glitter distributor in New Jersey.
Okay.
She spoke to a woman named Lauren Dyer, who was the manager at this facility,
Okay.
and interviewed her. She was just curious. She was like, what's the skinny? What's going down? Here's, and I quote, When I asked Miss Dyer if she could tell me which industry served as Glitter X's biggest market, her answer was instant.
Yep. I called it.
No.
I called it before the podcast.
I absolutely know that I cannot. I was taken aback. But you know what it is? And I quote, Oh God, yes. And you would never guess it. Let's just leave it at that. So why can't you tell me? And I quote, Because they don't want anyone to know that it's glitter.
Yeah.
She asked to elaborate further and said, Would I know that it was glitter if I were to look at it? Her response. And I quote, Oh, you'd be able to see something, but yeah, I can't.
It's like he's giving a sermon. He's quoting the Bible.
Now,
And I quote.
what in the world is the glitter?
I know.
It's him.
I know it.
Yes?
You gave us a hint about what you were going to be talking about for the podcast. I'm getting so excited I can't talk. And you gave us the hint glitter, and I knew exactly
Yep.
what you were talking about. The diabolical, subversive industry that is destroying the planet the glitter industry. And it's because the number one supplier, or the number one industry that glitter is used in, is boat manufacturing. Because they use glitter-infused paints in their boats, and she was so squirrely about telling the industry because it's this boat paint that's contributing to all the microplastics in the ocean.
Now, there is a lot of pushback on Reddit. Where people
So
are like,
not
it's
really.
not boat paint, guys. We don't know what it is yet. It's still a big mystery.
See, that screams...
It's boat paint.
That screams to me people who have been rolling around in the filth of fan theories for too long, where they're rejecting their common sense.
Well, there are people who say it's asphalt, and they use glitter in the roads for some reason.
But why would they use glitter in asphalt?
Why would they use it in boat paint?
Yeah.
To make it sparkly.
Yeah, people like sparkle.
You could use flecks of silver or some shit.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Moneybags over here painting his boat
All
with
I'm saying
silver.
is, it's probably easier to get flecks of aluminum than make plastic glitter. Or is it something even more sinister?
Oh. Artificial
No,
heart
it's not.
valves.
It's boat paint, guys. It's
Oh.
boat paint. They're poisoning the world.
Well, it could be diamond dots.
Diamond dots. What's diamond dots?
I thought that's the little spherical ice creams.
That's Dippin' Dots.
Oh, that is Dippin' Dots. My mistake. Continue, Chris.
Diamond dots are this
Ice cream of the future.
cool little fun art thing
Now bankrupt.
that my nieces and nephews
So not
are
really.
getting for Christmas. Have gotten for Christmas. It's these little tiny plastic beads, and you get them with like a little suction cup pen, and you glue them onto a picture.
Oh, yeah.
To make it all weird.
I know
and
what
shimmery.
I
shiny.
will say that it's not that.
That wouldn't adhere in paint very well at all.
To
boats.
Why? First off, why would they care that glitter was in their product?
Oh, I'm not saying glit. I'm just saying that that's probably a very easy place for microplastics to get into the environment.
Oh, well, there's microplastics literally everywhere.
We're breathing them in right now.
But
Oh God,
That
Sorry,
explains
John.
all my health problems.
I'm allergic to plastic.
Not the dish soap.
the the microplastics and the estrogen pills you've been taking.
Yeah. Soy boy. All that soy you eat. He doesn't eat meat, guys.
Oh,
except
yeah.
for fish.
Which has plenty of mercury in it.
So that was like a little.
Go ahead.
Because
That was
all-
just a little tea. We dipped our toe in.
Okay. We're 1 for 1, though.
One for
on
one.
mystery
We've solved the mystery.
What other podcast did you steal all this from?
I did my own research. Now, this is just an interesting one. So, for the rest, I got an interesting one, a fucking weird one,
Okay.
and a downright frightening one that I find quite frightening.
Okay.
All right.
So there's 4 of these.
Yes, the glitter was just a teaser.
Okay.
A little fluff job
Ah.
to
So,
get us ready for the
this
main
so
course.
each of us can be right.
I tried to think of some lesser known ones. This one isn't necessarily lesser known, but I find it very fascinating.
Yeah.
On June 30th, 1908, the Tunguska event.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Witnesses reported seeing a large fireball in the form of a bluish light almost as bright as the sun, far off in the distance. They gazed for a few moments until followed by a shock wave that was powerful enough to shatter windows hundreds of miles away and knock people on their feet.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the mystery, though. Obviously, researchers have just outright said, and I think we could agree with them, it was some manner of astral body collision that occurred.
Yeah.
Problem with that is no crater has ever been found. Now, this is the largest ever recorded collision on Earth, in modern days, of course. It was the footage of it. I don't know if you've ever seen it, John. These two
Nope.
nerds have definitely seen it.
They've had footage of this?
Well, I mean, not like footage of the explosion, but of the aftermath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Where
like all those trees
the
are.
trees are just flat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've
Oh
seen that.
yeah, boy.
There are just like reindeer literally scattered to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And no one really knows for certain what in the hell happened. There is that footage also in Russia of a few years ago.
I
There
remember
was that
this.
exploding, whatever the hell it was.
Some sort of meteorite.
Meteorite or whatever. But that didn't cause nearly as much damage as the Tunguska event.
My
So,
a quick interjection about
Yeah.
that since you brought it up. My favorite video out of that was a dash cam from a Russian driver who witnesses this while he's driving. And the dash cam is like both ways, so you see out his windshield and into the passenger compartment. And you see this giant explosion off at the horizon, and he just takes his sun visor and puts it down, completely unfazed, doesn't even blink.
Suka, bliyat! That is a really compelling footage, though, of that fucker exploding.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see. It looks like the world is ending. But like, what the hell's going on with that? I remember I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole with the Tunguska event in my head, at the very least. The research is kind of sparse. That's pretty much all there is. Because it's just people saying, I mean, it must be a meteorite or something that exploded. But I remember in Destroy All Humans 2, they try to explain the Tunguska event, I believe, by saying it was a crashed alien spaceship that had those weird, like, crab people aliens coming out of it. You remember that? Anybody?
I didn't play this. Maybe I played the second one. I don't remember.
I don't remember that event.
You go to specifically Tunguska in the second game, and I don't remember what they're called, but they're like weird, like pale.
The snow level at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I remember Yetis in that level.
Were there Yetis?
I think so. I thought those were the main bad guys.
I could see a Yeti being in that game.
It's literally been like 17 years.
Absolutely.
You know, they just made a new one.
We should play him.
You were 2 then.
Yeah.
That's
why my memory's so spotty.
But I do enjoy that Tunguska event, because first off, Tunguska's fun to say, and also just like, it's a reminder to me of how impermanent things are.
Yeah.
As joking as that might sound, that could happen right now.
Sure.
Right now. It could do it.
It didn't, though.
Right now.
Well,
It could happen.
the problem with that is right now it could be at any given point in time
That
after
somebody
this
listens to
video's
this.
been released.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, you're right. Oh,
What
fuck.
does the probability go up or down?
We're like time travelers through the astral plane.
Play the clip.
No.
I don't
but-
remember how it goes.
You know, it's just I'm fairly certain, based on there were no accounts of people dying from the Tunguska event, which is pretty fucking lucky, I find.
Mm-hmm.
A few hundred miles south would have been pretty bad.
So wasn't it in like rural Siberia?
Yeah, it was hundreds of miles from any civilization, and people still had the buildings shatter their windows.
Right. I mean, Siberia is a big place. Is that one of the reasons why we haven't found anything? Like, how much orienteering have people been doing trying to find this crater?
Well, in 1908, it was a shitload, apparently.
Well, yeah, because they have photos of Ground Zero.
Exactly.
But there was no crater
There was no crater there, no crater to be found. I will say, there's a lot of creepy shit in Siberia. There's the firebird's egg. Have you guys heard, or nest? Have you guys seen that?
No.
People, it looks like a crater. We'll show an image of it. It looks like a crater, but I don't know the science behind it. Apparently, it's not a crater. Apparently, it's just some sort of geologic activity. But some researcher in somewhat modern day. Are you combing your beard?
I am.
That's fantastic. Some researcher in modern day, quote unquote, near modern day, he went to there and he was going to research, like, there was a radiological phenomena occurring, and he wanted to take some measurements. He walked into the crater, and dropped dead of a heart attack.
Holy fuck.
And so they're like, let's just leave it alone.
Yeah. So is there no like fire or anything? It's just...
It's called the Firebird's Nest because it looks like a nest. It looks like it even looks like it has a little egg in the middle.
Gotcha.
It looks like a crater.
Because I know there's the, I think it's called the Gate to Hell in, I think, Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
Where,
just a burning hole.
Yeah, it's just a burning hole from like a natural gas deposit.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's been like, well, it'll burn itself out. And it's been
hasn't.
burning for decades.
Yeah.
I thought that was in Ohio.
If only. Well, here's
So, okay. What if we can't find a crater for the Tunguska event?
Tunguska event.
Yeah.
The Kyrgyzstan event.
Yeah. What if we can't find a crater for it because we are in a
Simulation Were you actually going to say that?
Of if the world had survived after that point. And the world actually ended in 1908.
Oh, if it had hit the water, it might have been much worse. A lot of tsunamis.
Yeah.
It's awfully convenient
That it hit
that it
where
hit
it hit.
where it hit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or maybe no, that's the wrong word. Coincidence is the word I was going to say. Is I should have used.
And people, I'm sure there's plenty of people who bring up that like, oh, but it could have hit anywhere, but it hit right where it didn't hurt anyone who matters.
Yeah, because if it hit anywhere else, we wouldn't be here to speculate how it's so weird.
Actually, we don't know that, really. We
Frankly.
can only speculate that it was as powerful as it was because of the pictures we see of the aftermath and, like, the scant witness testimony.
Oh, well, and also it's like it doesn't matter if this impact happened 100 miles south. Like, it's still going to have a comparable amount of destruction. It's not gonna it would still destroy the Earth even if it hit Siberia or it hit Kazakhstan.
Yeah. What do you have against Kazakhstan, huh?
Didn't like the second Borat
I
movie?
guess.
I didn't watch any of the Borat movies.
All
You're
right,
not missing
so
I
much.
refuse.
You're not missing much on the second one.
we're dipping our
There was
toe.
a second one?
Yeah.
We're dipping our toe into something.
Borat's spectacular subsequent movie. It's something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
Something stupid.
Man,
second movie
you have
film or
glitter
something
too,
like
huh?
The subsequent movie film.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
He has glitter on his chin.
You
Do
have
I?
glitter. You have glitter here.
We all got glitter, huh?
Okay. So,
It's like AIDS. It gets everywhere. And you can't get rid
Can't
of
get
it.
rid of it.
Who's the fucking painted boat? Who's the boat?
who is the boat among us? You're the most boat-like.
What does that mean?
You just have a buoyancy about you.
And a large cargo compartment.
Yeah. I could stuff a fucking whole trawler full of crab up there.
The men at the club love me.
Scott, you own the most boats out of all of us.
I
though.
do own a boat.
One.
You brought a shit ton of boats over.
Those are my boats.
Yeah,
So
no,
you own
I'm
the most
saying,
boats.
You have a lot of boats.
Those are my boats.
Maybe by quantity, but by weight.
Mm-hmm,
Maybe you.
Absolutely. Here's the next one. So feel free to interject at any point. This is a bit of a longer one.
We have a boat at my grandparents'.
The disappearance of Charles C. Morgan. This is actually...
I might know this.
This is so fucked. Okay. It's so weird. Tucson, Arizona. Let's set the scene.
Okay.
Teal. Turquoise. Everything sucks. It's a monument to man's arrogance. Let's go there. Charles C. Morgan is the president of his own escrow agency. It's pretty good. Big finance guy.
Yeah.
On March 22nd, 1977, he left his home to drop off his 2 daughters at school and never returned home.
Okay.
Except 3 days later. 3 days later, he returned home to his wife Ruth with a missing shoe, a plastic handcuff around one ankle, and his hands zip-tied together in front of him. He claimed that he had been... Well, hold on, actually, before I get to that. He showed up to Ruth and couldn't speak. He gestured to her to get a pen and paper and said that a deadly hallucinogenic was painted onto the inside of his throat and that he had been kidnapped and tortured. He did not say who did it out of fear for his family. After he recovered, he explained that he was a secret agent who fought against organized crime.
Okay.
Months go by, and on June 7th, he disappears again, without a trace. On June 16th, the wife, Ruth, receives a call from a mystery woman claiming that Charles is safe, and I quote, Chuck is all right. Ecclesiastics 12, 1-8.
Okay.
She hangs up the phone. June 18th. Nobody knows what the fuck that is. Like, it's crazy.
I do.
No, we know what Ecclesiastics... First off, they said Ecclesiastics on the phone, not Ecclesiastes.
Steez. Yeah.
June 18th, Chuck was found dead wearing a bulletproof vest, which he had begun doing because of paranoia. From a shot, and he was shot in the back of his head with a bullet from his own gun, which was a .357 Magnum.
Nice.
It's such a shame. He should have worn a bulletproof hat.
You're right. He had gunshot residue on his left hand, implying he would have had to do one of these
Yeah.
if he had shot himself.
He put the hand to the back of his head and pretended to hold a
with
gun.
his non-dominant hand.
Mm-hmm.
Also found in the car was a piece of his tooth wrapped in a handkerchief in the back seat.
Odd.
That's why.
They were just collecting evidence. I don't know why that was. And also, clipped inside of his underwear was a $2 bill. On the $2 bill, we should put up an image of this $2 bill. It's so fucking weird.
Okay.
On this $2 bill, 7 Spanish names written on it from A to G, starting with A going to G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
So, like,
Abe said A.
I couldn't, it's honestly so hard to read. I could not read the names.
no, names, not letters, Chris.
Names.
Well, he said that. Okay, whatever.
And the Bible verse, Ecclesiastes 12, 1 to 8, was written with arrows leading from the 1 to 8 to the serial numbers 1 to 8
on the $2
bill.
Okay.
The declaration signers on the opposite side of the $2 bill is a scene of the declaration being signed, Declaration of Independence. They are labeled 1 to 7, all 7 signers.
There were more signers, though.
Only on this, there was only 7 on the
Okay.
other. Also, a simple road map showing a like very simple road map showing like routes between cities in Mexico and Texas and Arizona that are very well known drug trafficking cities.
Mm.
That's pretty much all the evidence they found in the car. The lady on the phone, a supposed lady on the phone, contacted the police anonymously, who said, "I was the lady who called Ruth. My nickname is Green Eyes. I was supposed to meet with Chuck at a motel, and I saw that he had a briefcase filled with $1,000 bills. The police ruled it a suicide."
Okay.
While the car was in police custody, it was broken into. They couldn't find who did it.
Okay.
The Morgan house was ransacked by FBI agents. And then afterward, Don Devereaux, who was a reporter who was like investigating this case, called the FBI and said, "We don't even know who Chuck Morgan is." So the case is closed. Since then.
What the fuck?
No one, it's just been ruled a suicide that he just went to the desert and shot himself in the back of the head with his own gun, wearing a bulletproof vest.
You'd think if you were going to shoot yourself anywhere, it would be somewhere where the bulletproof vest would stop the bullet.
Well, unless you're committing suicide, Cody.
Oh.
In Minecraft.
I suppose I was operating under the assumption, the crude assumption that it wasn't a suicide.
But isn't that just so weird?
That is so
I know
weird.
this because it was on an episode of I'm Robert Stack. Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, I was thinking,
I love Home Improvement.
Why shoot yourself in the back of the head?
It's almost like he didn't shoot himself at all. And someone else did.
Wait, you said that they found they found residue on
They
his
found
hand?
GSR, gunshot residue, on his left hand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like somebody just went on his left hand.
Did they
Or,
say
I mean,
anything
hell,
about
they
how
could have just went over his hand.
Yeah, or
That's what I was
maybe...
about to ask was how many, if it said how many shots were out of the gun. Like,
The gun was empty.
The gun was empty, okay.
Empty as in no
bullets.
No bullets, but still shell casings.
I mean, I don't know. The wiki I was looking at didn't tell me.
I mean, if it was a 357, it'd be a revolver, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So that would be important to know.
I don't know.
Because it's a little hard to take the shell casings out of a revolver.
After you're dead.
When you're... Yeah.
In Minecraft.
Yeah.
Dude...
Dude, that dollar bill, though.
This is like an ARG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's all it is.
What was the year again?
It's one of those,
alternate reality games. In 1977, this occurred.
1977.
Yeah.
Did they even have $2 bills?
I mean, apparently they did.
Yeah.
That wasn't the weird part. The weird part was that...
when was the last time you saw a $2 bill?
I think they've been out of circulation for like 20 years or something. Probably longer.
Mm-hmm.
I have one.
I have like 20.
I bet if you go to the bank, you could ask for one.
Really?
I bet.
You try it at your home, listener. But isn't that so weird? Like, if he was there's a lot of theories going around that he wasn't a secret agent at all. In fact, he was involved in these, some sort of cartel business.
Mm-hmm.
That seems likely.
It seems very likely that he was involved in some way, not necessarily that he was a part of it, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how this secret agent business works.
Because he just said he was a secret agent.
He just said, that's literally what the quote was. I'm a secret agent, and I'm here to take down organized crime.
Okay.
Dude, what the fuck?
And what's the $2 bill even mean?
The $2 bill has so much going on with it.
What's the names? Why are they in alphabetical order from A to G?
What is Ecclesiastes 1 or 12?
Let's read it.
Let's read these.
Let's read it. It's a long one. It's
And then he talked about
1
that.
to 8.
That he said it was a
12, 1 to 8?
dangerous
12, 1 to
hallucinogenic
8.
in his throat.
He said it had been painted in his throat, and that he couldn't speak because he would die.
What the fuck, dude?
So here we go. There is quite a bit here.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 12, 1 to 8. I believe this is New Testament. I believe this is Paul writing a letter.
What version do you have?
New International Version.
Awesome. That didn't exist back in the 70s.
Do you want me to switch to
King James.
King James, the LeBron James version? Let's see if it's...
Is there a Rick James version?
Rick.
Is this pre-current or post-Cleveland?
Has the Bible taken its talents to South Beach yet?
All right, Ecclesiastes.
I also need a specification of first time in Cleveland or second time in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's relevant. Who knows? Maybe third time.
Oh.
We're not there yet.
Maybe.
Okay.
We're still in the LA Times right now.
Remember
Times, probably a
now,
newspaper.
Ecclesiastes 12,
Probably.
1 to 8. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun, or the light, or the moon, or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened.
Wait, can you Control F cartel? Does it say cartel in the...
Here in verse 6.
What?
Wherever the Tijuana drug cartels be loosed.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Why didn't people just Control F?
They didn't have that in the 70s.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you're right.
I think we just solved this ARG,
I think we did.
boys.
We blew it up.
we did
He's a dead man. He's unfortunately passed. He would have been passed by now. It's been 50 years
What was
almost.
the name? Pierce Morgan?
Charles C. Morgan.
Charles C. Morgan.
And he's survived by his wife, who might be dead too. I don't know. And 2 daughters, who might be dead too.
Did the cartel ever get them?
They got them in
Well,
verse
that's
7.
the thing. If they wanted to get
I
them,
should've kept reading.
that's another thing. If these FBI agents weren't FBI agents, they could have just got them then.
Right.
So if he was worried for his family's safety, who the fuck went to his house?
Why did they go to the house?
Ruth said that they ransacked the house, claimed to have not found anything, and left.
I see.
And apparently, I think the implication is it's the same people who had broken into the car while it was in police custody, and they must not have found what they were looking for in the car either, because that happened before they went to the house.
Right. Okay.
What if they were looking for the $2 bill?
It could have been. I mean, this was very widely publicized in Tucson. That reporter, Don Devereaux, did a whole spread. He was following the whole thing. And he contacted the FBI for his follow-up article.
Could be a twin situation.
What do you mean?
Did Charles Morgan have a twin?
Yeah, did he have a a twin,
A body double.
who might have been involved in these activities? And then he had his brother killed because he knew things, and then he went back dressed up as his brother.
Wait.
In order to get his everything in order.
He
and
staged a kidnapping
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So, what you're saying is Charles C. Morgan's secret twin brother,
Yes.
This isn't a soap opera, but yes.
Carlos Morgan,
Yes.
kidnapped his brother,
Yes.
And
killed him,
Killed him
and then
because
took
he knew
his
things.
place.
Got his affairs in order.
Got his
Begged
affair.
wife.
Yeah,
And
Probably.
then dumped the body and left.
and then dumped the body and left.
he this twin brother
Which is why he
stayed with
couldn't
the wife
talk.
for like 4
Because it would have
months.
given it away.
Right.
4 months.
4 months.
He definitely fucked her.
I bring this one up because I remember watching years ago. I watched the Unsolved Mysteries involving this one with Robert Stack, and I heard at the beginning, woman calls after he disappears. It's an affair.
You'd think. Even if he shows up with handcuffs on himself, that's
It's an affair.
It's a kinky affair.
Yeah, but then like
And they were
going on,
plastic.
we can't prove obviously much of this.
Yeah, plastic handcuffs. That can't be.
So much of the
That
story.
was a new invention in the 70s.
So much of the
Plastic,
story
yeah.
is just Ruth saying this happened.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And even worse than that, the most juicy parts, like the hallucinogenic painted on his throat, was just Ruth saying that he said that happened.
Right.
So it's hard to know what's going on. It's just really fucking weird. It sounds like a fucking
Why?
Yeah.
story.
Why would a hallucinogenic painted on the inside of your throat not make you hallucinate?
It was apparently, I don't know. I don't know what in the fuck is going on. He was worried for his life. He might have been tripping absolute balls at that point. He was worried for his life and convinced that through the trip that he couldn't speak or else he would die. He showed up to his wife's house, and she nursed him back to health over the course of a week.
When
Chris,
did...
you had a bad trip. Does this sound accurate?
This ain't no weed trip, I don't think.
No, you're right.
Do you think... When did MK Ultra start?
I mean,
Like the
earlier
50s?
than this, but people have been saying it's still happening. Like that.
Yeah.
That's the.
But, like, could it be, like, an MK Ultra thing?
Maybe. Usually MK Ultra is pointed at like is less about organized crime.
No.
We don't even know if organized crime is involved in this.
Yeah, we were just
He
told
said
that it
at
was.
the very least, yeah.
What if
Maybe he
that's
was
a
talking
part-
about the biggest organized
Oh.
crime system, the
US
federal government.
Fed. Big Fed.
What if like let's say MK Ultra was doing experiments to try to test like operatives for the CIA and
They were too
try
busy
to
making
figure
the
out-
Unabomber and Ted Kaczynski and
Look,
Ted Bundy.
Okay. Maybe this was just one of those, but it failed.
FBI did Ted Kaczynski and Ted Bundy?
Well, yeah. That's a theory. That's a real theory. The Ted Kaczynski one at the very least has a little bit of merit. He genuinely on record did do like pre MK Ultra stuff with no drugs.
Mhm.
It was just like psychological aberration.
That was at like
in
Stanford?
Was it Stanford?
I think he was in
or
California.
Berkeley. I think it was Berkeley.
Okay, yeah, Berkeley. It was UC Berkeley.
But he blew up people with bombs.
Are there any yeah. Are there any
Said
leading
that so
theories?
Casually.
No, like the theories are we take it at face value. He was a secret agent and he was in so deep that either A, the bad guys got him, or B, the worse guys got him. Which
Yeah.
is to say the people he worked for.
Yeah.
And
I have a hard time believing he could get very undercover.
he's just telling it to his wife.
You just see this guy at like a drug deal, just like, my name's Chuck.
Also, look up a picture of Charles C. Morgan. That man is not a secret agent. Just look at him. But maybe that's what they want you to think.
Charles C. Morgan.
You know, one of my favorite poets actually.
He looks like he looks like a young John Williams.
A little bit, I guess.
Huh.
He also you said John Williams, that made me think of Star Wars, so that made me think of Leonard Maltin. He kind of looks like Leonard Maltin.
Leonard.
But Allen Ginsberg testified to Congress about being involved in LSD.
I don't know who Allen Ginsberg is.
He's a great American poet from the 60s.
Gotcha. He's in MK Ultra, so it did give us something good. A poet. And the last one, boys.
This is why I don't talk.
I mean, depending on your definition of good,
Any final, like, what we think? What's your theory?
What is my theory?
On the glitter, not on this.
Oh.
No.
Okay. Bath bombs.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smuggling bath bombs?
No. That's the glitter.
Bath bombs are glitter.
That's a good one, actually.
I don't want to put... Okay. If I were in charge of the U.S. military, it'd be pretty fun to put glitter in a missile. I'm just going to say that. Like, it'd be pretty fun.
It's like a kind of like fake missile too. Like it fucking lands right in front of them. They're all freaking out. Just like
no, they still die.
They still get lit
in Minecraft. But it's in
not.
fact, it's probably a war crime.
Well, honestly, it's probably more like an inside joke.
Mm-hmm.
Because when a missile explodes, you're not going to see the glitter. It's just for the operators' fun and enjoyment.
Yeah.
It'd probably make them feel a little better about blowing up
it's like
brown
a little
kids.
birthday.
Yeah, a little birthday.
What if it's scientific?
I'm sure somebody in that hospital was celebrating a birthday.
What if it's...
Oh my God,
dude!
Holy fuck!
Blame the U.S. government, not me.
Statistically, if like 40
Christ,
people are in
man.
a room, at least 2 of them share a birthday.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
And there's
Wait,
at
what?
least like
Yeah.
2,000 people in
The
that
birthday
hospital.
paradox.
What was that statistic?
There's like 40 people in a room. 2 of them
I
at
think
least
it's
share a
100.
birthday. It's like a 90%.
I've heard 50.
50? I don't know.
It's
a weird number either way because you'd think it'd be 365.
366.
well,
to get two.
366. You're guaranteed.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's I don't
No.
know. No.
Leap year.
Oh,
Right.
fuck!
67.
We always forget about the leap year.
So,
What if it's scientific? So, like, you explode a thing and you watch the glitter particles to watch how
I don't think
that's affected.
I don't think that would be a big enough industry for people to. Oh, well, you're saying weather patterns.
Yeah.
oh.
I'm not aware of anything that would do that, though.
Well, then, because I mean, there's lots of implications that it can be used, applications it can be used for, such as like figuring out how Fallout then gets
The game?
spread.
Digitally.
Usually
over the
by
internet.
Steam, yeah.
Well, Bethesda has their own
That's right.
storefront now.
Yeah, that's right. They
So-
do.
I'm gonna walk out into this weather and freeze to death.
So,
Won't be long.
that was
So-
weird.
Very weird.
Very weird.
So,
yes.
people started saying affair, but
No, he thought.
I
fair.
thought when I was
Oh, you
watching the
thought it
original on the show on Unsolved Mysteries, I heard woman be calling him saying it like Chuck was okay. Affair. That's an affair. But what's the fuck's all the other little details? Are the other little details even real? The $2 bill is real. We can see pictures of the $2 bill. At the very least, someone wrote that shit on a $2 bill, and it was found clipped to his underwear.
Yeah.
The gun was real, and the tooth in the handkerchief was real.
Was it his?
It was his tooth.
Okay.
It was a part of his tooth wrapped in a handkerchief in the back seat of his car.
all right. I think.
Wait. He went missing, but he was found in his car?
He was found in his car, just like in the middle of the desert. Hold, I turned a page.
4 days. 4 days later.
On June 16th, no, on June 7th, he disappeared. He was found on June 18th, and he was, I believe, I didn't
11
write this down. I
days.
should have wrote it down. I think he said the like coroner's report said that he died 2 days before.
11 apostles, if we don't count Judas the betrayer.
Yes. Go ahead.
I don't know, maybe it's biblical. It has the thing.
Right.
Like the implication here is that
I
there's
don't
some
think
sort
there's
of
any hitting
code
me.
happening
right.
on the $2 bill. Like
Absolutely.
with the names, the signers are labeled for some reason from 1 to 7.
That's so. What's interesting is it doesn't seem to be like a message
Yeah.
to like. Well, it seems to be like some kind of internal message, almost like he was like a courier. Like he didn't know what the code was, but he was just delivering it to some maybe, because that's like an odd place to have, you know, a.
So he was a mule?
And
Maybe.
whoever unalived him either didn't want it or couldn't find it, clipped him in his underwear.
Or didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
Well,
But then why unalive him?
yeah, and there's so many things overlapping here because it seems like somebody wanted that code because they broke into the car and the house, if that's what they were looking for.
Yeah.
It could be that the car break. I don't know what is relevant and what is not. What's coincidence and what's not. What is
It's hard to know.
Yeah. And that's why it made it onto Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah. Robert Stack solved it, except he didn't. He probably beat his wife, too. So.
Did Charles Morgan beat his wife?
No. Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe she...
So that last one. That last one. Charles C. Morgan. Ripping pepperonis, my guy. You know, you're the real OG. This one fucking terrifies me.
Original Gone Girl?
I think this one is genuinely frightening to me, which is saying something.
Okay.
But it could just be me.
Okay.
You might have all heard of this. But you at home, maybe listener, didn't hear about it. So this last one. Like I said before. Or did I? It's quite terrifying. I find it quite terrifying. And also, it's just fun to say.
Okay.
Similar to Tunguska. We're talking about the Hinterkaifeck murders.
I'm not familiar with this one.
Anybody?
Nope.
The
Hinterkaifeck.
murders?
In Germany, Bavaria in Germany, in March 1922. Well, actually, the story doesn't start in March. It starts 6 months before.
October.
Sure. 6 months before the murders, spoiler alert, they had a maid. They were pretty well off farming.
I do think I know this one.
They were pretty well off farming community. It was a really close-knit Bavarian little community here.
Yeah.
And Hinterkaifeck was a farmstead, and they were pretty well off. They had a maid, and she claimed the house was haunted because she kept hearing footsteps in the attic. Now, I bring this up because people like to tie this to the principal mystery.
I have heard this too.
They like to tie this to what happened 6 months later, spoiler alert. So, we are in March, the beginning of March. This is the beginning of March that this occurs. Andreas Gruber, who is the lead homesteader.
Patriarch.
Yeah. Found a newspaper on his property from Munich, which is about 40 miles away from where he lives. And he's like, I know I didn't buy this.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to the postman. He's like, did you lose this? The postman's like, no. What are you talking about? He's like, do you deliver these? And he's like, no. That's weird. People like to attach it to what happened. A lot of weird things surrounding this one. Toward the end of the month, about 4 days before the event, Andreas found tracks leading from the forest at the edge of his property, going into the machine room, the machine house, where he kept like his tractor or whatever the fuck. And it was a busted lock on that door. He investigated around and found nothing. But there were no tracks leaving the property. That night, footsteps were heard in the attic. He investigated some more. Found nothing. Probably back in the back of his head, he was thinking, maybe that maid was right. Maybe the fucking place is haunted. The 31st of March, finally, their new maid arrives in the afternoon. She comes with her sister, who, like, drops her off. It's like, hey, say bye, I'm going to be staying here, like that kind of thing. Sister leaves. That's the last time she saw her sister alive. On the 1st of April, 2 coffee sellers came to the farm. Probably fucking door knockers, these fucking guys.
Selling coffee.
Parasites.
Probably Folgers.
Telemarketers of their time.
Yeah. Came knocking on the door. Nobody's answering.
Can't be the best part of waking up if you don't wake up.
They looking through the windows.
Nice.
Fuck.
They looking through the windows. No, the oven's not on. The lights aren't on. What's going on here? They circle around back. No one's there. Like, all right.
There's
I guess-
some persistent coffee sellers.
They don't want coffee. I guess they don't want coffee. 3 days go by. 4th of April. Worried neighbors are like, we haven't seen the Grubers in a while. Oh, I should probably explain this. The people living on the farm are Andreas Gruber and his wife, their daughter, who has a son and a daughter.
Okay.
The son is 3, the daughter is like 6.
Okay.
And the maid. 6 people living on this farm. 4th of April, worried neighbors investigated. They're like, we haven't found the Grubers around. So they were poking around, and finally they see, the door to the barn is swinging open. They peek in, 4 dead bodies. They're like, oh, fuck. Let's call the police. Police investigate. They find Grandpa, Grandma, Mom, and daughter in the barn.
But not the son.
Not the son or the maid. They're in the back of their heads, each one was struck with what they presume to be a mattock, which is for you. I assume you don't know what a mattock is.
No clue.
I also don't know what a mattock is.
It's like, you'd know it if you saw it. It's got like it's one of those old-timey farming tools. It's got like a thing on the front, and then it's like, here's the thing. And it goes to the handles here, and then there's like a pick at the end.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a bent
Is it like-
spatula on the front.
Okay.
Oh, so
So it's a hoe
It's
on
kinda
one
like
side
a-
and a pick on the other?
yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Why didn't you just
I
say
have
that?
one of those.
Why didn't I say what?
Why didn't you just
Because it's
say-
not really like a hoe at all. It's like a bent spatula on the front.
Okay, that seems like if you just bend a spatula at a 90-degree angle.
Not at a 90-degree angle, like a curved spatula. It's like a pickaxe.
What kind of spatulas are curved?
That's what I'm saying. It's a bent spatula.
Oh.
Jesus. Anyway, it's like if you took a pickaxe on one end and just flattened it out and kept the curve in it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, they're like, okay, we need to get in the house. They bust in, find the 3-year-old in the bed, same wound. Maid in her bed, same wound. All of them killed in the same exact way. The night after the crime occurred, they said they've been dead for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
So
We're around April 5th.
this is April 4th.
Okay.
The coroner on April 4th said they were killed 4 days ago. The night after the crime, witness saw someone on the farm with a what do you call it?
Lantern?
Oh my God, a lantern. And he was like on the outskirts of the farm, and the person like blinded him with the lantern, and he's like, okay, I'm going. This was in the middle of the night. They were long dead by then. And he also, this same witness said that the stove was on, the oven, there was smoke coming out of the house, and he got a horrible smell coming from the oven. No one investigated what was coming out, what was burned in the oven based on that.
This is the neighbor?
This is just some passerby.
Okay.
Also, during this time, there was a guy who also said that on the night of the crime, he saw 2 people arguing on the outskirts of the property. I don't know why this fucking property was so popular at night, apparently.
Right.
But I take all of that, like, I saw this, I saw that, with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Point is, multiple neighbors definitely saw smoke coming out of the homestead after, like, between April 1st and April 4th. Somebody was living in that house. Somebody was feeding the fucking animals. The situation that the police had constructed was somehow, one by one, each of the, at least 4 of the people, were lured into the barn, cracked in the back of the head with the mattock. He would just drag him to the back of the barn and get the next person, one by one. And they couldn't find out how they lured them in there because they were like, the first theory was maybe he was like messing with the animals in the barn and making them get all rowdy. But they put like, they're like, could we hear people being loud in the barn? So they had a guy in the house and they had a guy in the barn. They did the Mythbusters episode.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I'm in the barn. Hello, I'm in the barn. And they couldn't hear shit. So then they're like, really give it to us. Scream as loud as you can. And they did like a guttural scream, like, I'm dying. Couldn't hear anything. So, theories abound. This one's less mysterious and more just fucking creepy because the implication here is that some murderer was living in their house for
Yeah.
upwards of a month.
Oh, yeah. Upwards of a month?
Because he had found at the beginning of the month a newspaper he did not buy.
I see. Yeah. Presumably, this killer brought it.
Yeah. And if we are to... people like to attach the maid story from 6 months before to that,
Mm-hmm.
because he also heard footsteps. People know that he had heard footsteps because he had recounted... It was very, like I said, a very close-knit community. He had, like, they go to church together.
This is a proper gaslight situation.
Right. And, you know, that's just... I find this genuinely terrifying. The idea that some guy could just be living with me.
Yeah. I think about this because there's a crawl space above my apartment into the ceiling. And there is an access hatch in my closet. And I'm always thinking, like, is that a footstep up in the attic? Has anybody gotten into the crawl space?
I mean, Ted Bundy, that's how he escaped prison the first time.
Yeah.
Was there a call?
I say the first time. That's how he escaped prison when he was at first incarcerated. He, like, lost a lot of weight and, like, would crawl through the walls. And he would do... It was so smart. He would, like, do test runs to see if people would notice he were away or whatever. And he was so patient, and it worked. And then he killed a bunch of people in Minecraft. In Florida.
At that sorority house.
In Florida Minecraft.
Yeah. And I love that story because no matter what, mystery or not, it could have just been maybe all these little attached little stories like, oh, I heard noises, oh, the newspaper, it's weird that I saw these footprints rather. Could be nothing. It could just be some total psychopath who's like, you know what, I just feel like killing 6 people today in Minecraft.
Yeah.
And that's so messed up. And I love that story so much. It's so weird.
And
Like,
there was never any follow-up?
no one was caught. People. I will say this: pre-World War II, post-World War I, Germany cracked the fuck down on crime.
Yeah.
They really nailed. Like Peter Curtin was a famous one. They just did a great job catching people. Or they just caught a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
When I think of Weimar Germany, I'm not really thinking of, like, the gold standard for efficiency in government.
In fact, people do blame Germany for that time's true crime boom. They also did such good job with documentation. They love to talk to these people and get their side of the story and all that. And that's like we can read Peter Curtin's whole fucking life story, that goddamn monster. But it's just interesting that nothing seemed to come out of this. And from what I know, if we just take this case, why'd he do it?
Right.
He seemed to be living on this house, maybe. Maybe he just got the urge. He could have just left after killing in Minecraft those 4 people.
But then
he went into the house and finished the other 2 off. He knew there were 2 more. One of them being a 3-year-old. I can't remember. I think the maid was 44 or something.
Well, and what's also creepy is that he was just living in this house with these dead bodies.
Yeah. What was he doing in the oven?
Exactly.
The bodies weren't burnt.
They're not mutilated or anything.
They had the.
It said it was a horrible smell.
That's what the one witness said. Like I said, take all that with a grain of salt. People were like attaching themselves to this because it got huge at the time. Similar to that John Benet Ramsey, a lot of people did that with her as well.
So it's like that tells me that if that person was there for 4 more days, potentially 4 more days, then
at least 1, 2 days, at least 2 days.
That tells me that either they were there looking for something, or they knew they couldn't stay there, so they were arranging a way to go somewhere else, but didn't want anybody to know. They wanted to try to make it look like the place was still maintained.
Right.
While they figured out what their next step was.
That's actually, I was about to discredit that, but that actually does make a lot of sense, trying to keep up the illusion that everything is fine on the farm.
So, like, the idea in this is that he's just an unstable individual. I say he. They are just an unstable individual, and something just set him off, and they're like, all right, I'm going to kill all 6 of these people.
And you said
I
a
wouldn't
new
even,
maid
I
had
wouldn't
just
even,
showed up?
yeah, you
A
did.
new maid had just shown up, and they think that this might
What happened
be,
to the last one?
She had left 6 months prior because she was afraid of the house. It was just creepy. She said it was haunted or something because she kept hearing footsteps in the attic.
Well, it kind of sounds like it was just like this wandering drifter, because he said there were tracks coming in from the forest. You said to kind of take it with a grain of salt, but like
No, don't take that. That was from that's before the murders. The Andreas saw the tracks coming from the forest and told. He's like, isn't that weird that I saw tracks coming in the forest? Anyway, I guess I better keep living my life.
Busted open.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like this drifter was just moving from town to town, killing people.
Yeah.
And he was just hiding out in this house until he made plans for where to go next.
It's also super interesting to me to think that how easy that was for him or them.
Yeah.
Like, he potentially was there for, like, fucking God knows how long.
Check up on your friends, listener.
Yeah.
Unless they're a murderer.
You should still probably check up on them too.
Yeah.
Try to get them to stop murdering.
Also, I will say this. Total seriousness, but it sounds like a joke. In last podcast, they bring this up a lot. If you go to somebody's house and there's a room you're not allowed to go in, go the fuck in that room. Because could be John Wayne Gacy. That's the same story with him with, hey, don't go in there. Same story. Go in the room.
I disagree. Because if you go in there, you might not be coming out.
Good point.
Yeah.
Better to just keep your hands clean.
What's interesting about Ed Gein is his house was like the opposite. His entire house was a fucking horror show except for one room with his mom's room.
Yeah.
It was perfect and pristine. It's like that was the room you're allowed to be in, and everywhere else you should stay out.
Right. A little trouble navigating that.
Oh, man.
Man, I just love that one. I'm sure there's been a movie about it. I've never seen a movie about it. Hinterkaifeck is just a spooky word to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That Hinterkaifeck sounds like...
It's Hinterkaifeck. I keep mispronouncing it.
Well, it sounds like it should be an A24 movie.
Yeah.
It does
Definitely.
feel very movie-like.
It's an A24 movie.
They like, was it Lighthouse? They make those creepy, weird movies.
Either
They also
that
made The
or-
Whale recently with Brendan Fraser.
Oh, yeah. I've
Either
been seeing
that-
ads about that.
No, I'd say A24 would have it. And not, is it Blumhouse?
Not Blumhouse. I fucking hate Blumhouse.
Who keeps making...
Invisible Man was pretty good. That's probably their best movie.
It
Okay,
was
not,
Well, and
not
didn't-
Blumhouse then.
Didn't they do the Jordan Peele
Was that?
Get Out?
Who does Nope and Get Out in them?
Is it Blumhouse?
I thought it was Blumhouse that did Get Out.
Check it real quick.
I will check it.
Because I could see them doing a really good job with it too.
I think the logo was like I remember an apple and a cigarette. Nope was great. By the way, guys.
Yeah.
I wanna see
Blumhouse.
it.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
So
Blumhouse
okay,
did
I'll
Get
give you
Out.
that. I'll give you that, Jason Blum.
You got Get Out, you got Invisible Man.
And Nope. I like Nope.
Yeah.
Well,
I
is
didn't
Nope
really like
still the
Us.
same?
People really went crazy for Us.
I'd
I
assume.
think I didn't really like Us though.
I don't even know if they did all three of them. Let's check.
I don't know.
If they did.
They did Us, and then Nope.
I want to say
We've come to the boring part
Yeah.
of the.
there's always one.
They did not do Nope.
Who did
There
Nope?
you go.
That was Jordan Peele's company exclusively.
Okay.
What is it called?
Monkey Paw.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Monkey Paw. Jordan Peele. Make this
Yeah.
into a movie.
The thing I like about his movies, especially with Nope and Get Out, I did not really feel this with Us, is there's like that sweet little injection of funny.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes the creepier parts creepier, I feel.
Yeah.
I've only seen Get Out, and I liked it. But it is a ridiculous premise.
Yeah.
That, like, the idea that this brain surgeon is taking white people's brains and putting them in black people's bodies
Spoiler!
is... Oh, sorry. If you haven't seen Get Out. Sorry, John.
John doesn't have culture. He only watches Marvel movies.
He also does...
He doesn't have a brain.
Hey, you can't say that anymore. We're looking at an owner of Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper.
Yeah.
Wow. Has culture.
He has
Check.
culture.
And you have those
I got you,
those pictures of that Russian prince and princess in there.
Oh, is that what they are?
I think so. It feels very Anastasia-esque.
Oh, that's sad.
Are you
that's
telling
a bad
me that
ending.
Leonardo da Vinci is in that picture?
He's right there in the middle.
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah.
That's his last dinner?
Yeah.
Supper. He
So
saw
you should hang it up in the kitchen.
Don't tell
You
me
know,
how to
there's,
live my life.
There's contradictions about... This is completely irrelevant. I don't know why I'm bringing it up. Sometimes I just have a compulsion to say things, even though I know nobody cares.
It's because you love to hear yourself
Not-
talk.
it is.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I don't even really care.
It's because you love to hear yourself talk,
Yeah,
Cody.
it is. So I'll stop.
All right.
No, do
How
it.
deep are we?
We're at an hour 7.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably maybe cut a couple.
I had a lot of fun with these. I wanted to put some more in there, but I'm like, we could spend a lot of time with some of these, especially Charles Morgan.
It feels like we timed it perfectly.
Yeah.
You got a perfect perfect length podcast.
We're ending it. You guys, before we kind of segued off,
My corners are going to vary greatly.
Oh, okay.
before we kind of segued off, you guys mentioned something about if there's a room that you're not allowed to go in, and that kind of prompted me on a memory that I just kind of didn't think about ever again until just now.
Uh-oh.
I had a brother who was dating a girl at a time, and my family went over to see her family for a little bit, and her dad, I was running around with her little brother, and her dad shut a door to like a study or something.
A rumpus room. Don't trust it.
And then like a little bit later, I was like, "Oh, what is this?" And her brother was like, "No." He's like, "We're not allowed to play in there. There's breakable stuff in there." I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" There's just a desk. And like later, he went in to take a business call, and he was like sitting there, and like just like a fucking villain, like walked up, came up to me, put the phone down, closed the door, and then I just heard him walk away, and his voice get really soft.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
What are you hiding?
And I know that it was like a rich family, because their house was fucking huge, dude.
Was it Jeffrey Epstein?
And like,
Oh my gosh.
this is the same guy that let me co-pilot his little like
Oh,
private plane.
like the Piper Cub?
Yeah.
Wait, was it like a...
I don't remember what it was exactly, but like, I'm like, what's going on here?
John, literally nothing is happening
I think he just wanted privacy.
because there's just some random kid trying to like eavesdrop on his business call, and he's like, "No, get out!" Like this is, I don't want to discredit it because you're viewing this through the eyes of a child and making it more dramatic, but it's like there's nothing sinister about children not being allowed in like a parent's office.
Oh no, 100% you're right. But like I said, it's a memory that I just moved on with my life. But then we started talking about closed doors, and I'm like, I could see some villainous shit happening with that.
Where's this house? There are organs in jars.
There was a door in your house that I couldn't open.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've made up some stories about that scared the
Couldn't-
shit out of my nephews.
Couldn't or wasn't allowed.
I wasn't allowed to. Like, I don't know what...
Oh wait, what? Where is this?
In the dining room.
Oh no, that door just does not open.
Oh, where does it lead?
So I don't really know how to describe this. But I think they like did construction on the house, and they just tore down that room and put up an outside wall.
So it's just a fake door.
It just does not open.
It just
anymore.
opens into a wall.
It doesn't even open it. It opens that way.
I see. It would open.
So I've told all my nieces and nephews while they were little that if you open this door, Armageddon will come. The whole world will
Armageddon out of here.
That is Pandora's room.
Armageddon. Again, it's viewing it through the eyes of a child, because they could just see the outside of the house and see there were windows in that room.
Yep.
On that side.
Not on that side.
Yeah, on the other side. On the door side, there aren't any windows.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it's easy to see. Like, if you just walked outside, you could tell that there's nothing out there.
Well, I remember going outside and you have that little cellar thing, and I'm like, wait, does the door somehow lead to that?
Mm-hmm.
Was there a basement at that house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That house gave me nightmares.
Really?
There's just so much opportunity for scary shit in that house. And
maybe
especially
you're just a pussy.
Especially after I watched the Paranormal Activity movies.
Huh.
Yep, you're a
Like
pussy.
the third Paranormal Activity movie near the end.
Oh, it ramps
with
up
the grandma cult.
Yeah.
Okay.
It ramps up fast.
That room looked just like the dining room that has the door that doesn't open.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Also, with Paranormal Activity 3, it's a little bullshit that the ghost starts following them. They leave the house.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. A poltergeist haunts a person, not a
that
place.
true?
Yeah.
But the problem is, I guess there really wasn't ghosts. There were just the grandma witches. Spoilers.
Oh?
That movie did have an interesting spice to the Paranormal Activity series, where it had the camera on the fan, and so it would pan back and forth between two rooms, and like the gimmick was like it would pan back to one room.
Spooky thing would be there.
Yeah, and when it panned back, something would be there. That was kind of neat.
Also, I apologize.
There was also a sex tape at the beginning of it too. So
There is. You're right.
You asked if that was true, and it's not.
which one's true?
Ghosts aren't real. About poltergeists haunting people.
Oh,
Oh.
Fucking got him.
Paranormal Activity 3 also displayed to me the fear of people that walk towards you. Because, like, there's a moment where, like, dude opens or turns on the light, and you see the grandma Cole all in that garage, and they just turn around and look at him, and he runs through that outdoor, like, garden area, and he turns around, and they're just slowly walking
Michael Myers.
through. Yeah. And I'm like, that's... Why aren't they running after you?
have you seen that one? That reminds me of another creepypasta video. It's like a 10-second video of this guy driving down a back road at night, and he like
the Bruja?
maybe
Like the hunched over thing. What are we
no,
talking about?
it's he like arrives at this like group of like people like all walking in the middle of the dark, and you just see his headlights on all of them, and they're just walking, and then they all just like turn around, and then you see like out of the corner of the dash cam like this huge guy with like no shirt on and like a
Oh my goodness.
Oh God.
and he just has like the head of a deer on his head.
I need to see this.
And he just walks by the car and like looks back into the and then it just cuts off right there.
We need to watch this.
I need to see that.
Okay. I don't even know how to search for it.
Guy in car, people deer guy?
Google always helps.
Oh man.
This was a fun one because it was my corner.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Now who likes hearing themselves talk?
Yes,
Oh,
I
I'm
do.
next.
Huh?
I'm next.
You are next, and I'll be disappointed if you don't at least try to, do something more than. Did you know that Monster Quest almost had 69 episodes?
I'll let you know. I was planning on talking about Mythbusters next.
Okay. Carrie Byron's a very pretty lady.
What game is that?
She is.
That one blonde-haired lady died.
She did, didn't she?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Didn't a lot of them
Scotty.
die?
Was it Scotty? That's
think
a
that-
man's name.
Yeah, that's why I remembered it.
Weird.
And Grant also passed away. Had a brain aneurysm.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that? That was
I did know
that was years ago.
I did know that.
I don't think I ever watched.
Grant is the Asian
Mythbusters.
man. The one who's less of an idiot than Tori?
Yeah.
It doesn't help me.
I remember one time we were sitting in my room watching Mythbusters, and I'm like, "Oh, there's Carrie. She's cute."
I think that's literally the only time I've ever watched it was sitting there with you.
Well, we're really running on fumes here.
Yep.
So why don't we wrap this up?
How about another mystery? Oh, it's blank.
Oh, you have a secret super surprise.
It's blank.
Fifth mystery.
The fifth mystery is
The mystery of the missing misandry?
no. The mystery
happened to
is
The
Kyle?
missing Miss Andre.
Oh,
Yes.
Jesus Christ, let me finish it. The fifth mystery is when the fuck's going to be in your corner? And will I care?
Find out next time.
On In the Buff.
Goodbye, everybody.